welcome to my YouTube channel, Little Ways, Little Things. Today I'm going to talk to you about pumpkins. I love pumpkins. Fall is my favorite time of the year, primarily because I can stick pumpkins anywhere I want, and I do tend to put pumpkins all over the house. Now, in the years past, I've been using the traditional colors, which are orange and dark orange type pumpkins. But this year, the trend has been moving towards white, green, and gray pumpkins that fit in more with the farmhouse style. Well, I don't know how you take a house full of orange pumpkins and turn it into green, gray, and white pumpkins on a budget. But thinking long and hard about it, I happened to stumble onto these styrofoam pumpkins that Dollar Tree is selling. They sell them every year, and they are orange. Obnoxious orange. Even my orange pumpkins in my house probably wouldn't look good next to this. They're flimsy, they're styrofoam, and they have this funky little green stem that's not even in the center of the pumpkin, but they are $1. And I'm going to show you how you can turn this Dollar Tree pumpkin into a really fun pumpkin topiary using those really trendy colors. So with just some paint, a hot glue gun, some ribbon and moss, we're going to change this pumpkin into a really trendy, fun pumpkin topiary. This is where I got my inspiration. I found these two pumpkin topiaries on the internet. One was $39.99 and one was $25.67. I went to the Dollar Tree and I bought 3 of those obnoxiously orange pumpkins. I'm taking the tags off, and then I'm going to take the little stems off. If you can't get the stem completely off, you can use some needle nose pliers to help you. The next thing I'm going to do is paint the pumpkins. The first one I'm painting in moss. It's Waverly Chalk paint that you get at Walmart. And the colors I'm going to use are moss, mineral, and plaster. Moss is this really pretty green, and it's super trendy right now. I'm also going to use gray, which is mineral, and white, which is plaster. This paint goes on really smoothly, and I found it very easy to coat the pumpkin with it. And each pumpkin took about 3 coats. I'm going to switch over, now that I've got the green one painted, to the white paint. I'm going to do the same thing, just coating the entire pumpkin and letting it dry, and then coating it again 2 more times. It didn't take long at all. One thing I want to warn you about is these pumpkins are foam, so don't try to use spray paint. Spray paint will definitely melt foam, and you'll wind up with a little bit of a melted, mangled mess. So you don't want your pumpkin looking like a mangled mess, that's for sure. All right, my pumpkins are done. They each got 3 coats, the gray, the green, and the white. What I'm going to do now is kind of fit this top gray pumpkin with this little stick that I found outside. I know it's going to fit well, and that's what I want to use for my pumpkin stem. I'm going to match up the seams. Each one of these pumpkins has 2 seams on either side, and I want to kind of match them up so the seams match together. So when you put the piece in front of you, you're not seeing any seams. I'm using hot glue, and I'm going to coat it really well and then kind of give it a little pressure and hold it down to make sure it adheres well. I'm going to use the gray one for the top, but first I'm going to put the stick in. It looks like a stem, and I found it in my front yard, so it was free. I also think it's super cute. I'm going to use lots and lots of hot glue to make sure that it sticks in there really well. I don't want anyone picking it up by the stem and then having the stem come off in their hand. So I'm coating it with lots of hot glue, and I'm going to stick it down into the foam as far as it'll go, but I have to make double sure that it doesn't go through the bottom of the pumpkin. I'm going to adhere it more with extra hot glue around the outside just to make sure that it doesn't come off. Don't worry about having all that excess hot glue showing, because I'm going to glue some moss around the base of the stem to kind of cover that excess glue. Now you can get moss at Dollar Tree. I've seen it in 2 colors, but I happened to buy this moss from Walmart since I was there. So I'm taking this is actually Spanish moss, and this is a brand that you get at Walmart, but like I said, you can get it at Dollar Tree, and it would be a little bit cheaper. I don't think it was very expensive. I think that pack was about $3. So I'm pressing the moss down into the hot glue, and just be really careful that you're not touching your fingers to the hot glue. Make sure there's plenty of moss between your fingers and that glue. I didn't even have to break the stick. I just the way it was broken. It just really reminded me of a pumpkin stem. All right, I'm going to add some more moss to it. You can add as little or as much as you want. And then I'm going to finish by putting a little bit more moss in between the two pumpkins. So I'm just adding the hot glue and sticking that moss down in there. All right, now it's time to add the gray pumpkin to the very top. Once again, I'm just going to use lots of hot glue to make sure that it stays on really well, and I'm going to match up those seams. I just want to make sure that all three pumpkins have the seams on the side matching, so that you're not seeing any seams when you're facing the front of the piece. All right, I definitely want to add a little bit more moss, I think, to the top two pumpkins. So I'm going to push some hot glue down in there, and then I'm going to add the moss. I started noticing that I didn't use enough glue here because a lot of the moss was coming away from the pumpkins, so I decided that I better use a little bit more. Again, just be sure that you're not touching your fingers to that moss. I love the way these colors look. I think they're going to be perfect for the decor that I'm trying to achieve. I was really lucky that I had some of this buffalo plaid ribbon in my stash, but Dollar Tree sells ribbon too. You can always get some from Dollar Tree. This particular ribbon came from Hobby Lobby, and like I said, I've had it in my stash for a while because I've used it for other things. I did find some burlap ribbon from Dollar Tree. I think that would be super cute also. I'm making a really super simple bow by just cutting a piece of the buffalo plaid ribbon and then folding it in half and then folding the ends towards the half and adding a dot of glue to secure it. I'm going to make two different sizes, one a little bit larger and then one a little bit smaller, and then I'm going to glue them on top of each other. Like I said, it's a super, super simple bow. You can get ideas for bows all over YouTube. I'm going to make sure that when I pinch the two bows together, I'm going to add a little bit of extra ribbon to make kind of the knot, even though it's not really a knot and holding the bow together. It's just hot glued on. It looks really cute. Making sure I'm fluffing it up it's a wired ribbon, so you can kind of bend it the way you like. And I really want to make sure that the loops are sticking out and really fluffy. I also decided that I wanted to have some ribbon kind of cascading down the side of the topiary. So I'm just going to measure some and see where I like it. Then cut it and fold it in half. Put a dab of hot glue. I'm not even going to cut the ribbon into two separate pieces. I'm just going to leave it folded in half. I'm going to put a dab of hot glue on and glue it right to the stem of the pumpkin, right at the base of that top pumpkin. Here I am using a stick to make sure that I don't burn my fingers. After I kind of get the long tails arranged, I'm just going to glue that little bow that I made earlier right on top of it. It's really starting to look cute. Now I'm going to trim off the edges a little bit, and I'm also going to want to put a little bit of wave into the ribbon. So I'm just going to wrap it around this acrylic paint jar. I needed something really thick and I just had it laying there. I decided I wanted to trim the edges just a little bit more, and now I'm thinking that it's perfect. Well, here it is on my dining room table. I put it inside of a tray with a candle and another smaller pumpkin, but I think it would look really cute on a coffee table or even on your kitchen counter. I think it's really rustic and the colors are really gorgeous. I hope this inspires you to make a pumpkin topiary or just make one of the pumpkins and tie the ribbon around it. They're so fun to make and very cute. Thank you so much for watching. Please hit the subscribe button so you can subscribe to my channel. Hit the bell also so you can be notified the next time I upload a video.